And we're back here, second hour. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, 17-year NFL veteran. Dale Hellestrae's off here to our right. And you guys know this guy, Bruce the Dave Cooper, over here to our left. Robert did chime in earlier today, and he said, Happy Tuesday with Dave Day.
Hey, that's a story that's growing legs, I see.
Yes, we're going to run with it. We don't let anything go around here, Coop. Hey, did you see Dale's picture?
Yeah, I want to show Bruce and see what Bruce thinks of this.
What?
Well, don't say anything. Nobody say anything. No. Hey, audience, shh. Don't say anything here. Yeah. Kobe, can you throw the picture up? Dale's family was celebrating Alex, his son-in-law's birthday.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the picture for you.
Wow.
It might be a little difficult. Look at the big TV there.
Yeah, I see it. There's got a lot of beautiful faces, save one.
Yeah.
That's what you see.
There's one in there that really kind of
My older son-in-law ain't the best looking guy. Okay, but
you don't see anything else on there that drives you nuts.
Anything else?
Look at the whole picture.
I mean, we're celebrating my son-in-law, Alex, in the middle there, his 34th birthday.
You know, I just found something else that drives me nuts also. Well, let's talk about
two little kids.
Yeah. Two beautiful daughters, beautiful wife.
I think they have... Are you guys eating out of paper plates?
No.
Dude, I guess I'm missing the...
Look behind them. There's a picture of the Hellestraes behind the Hellestraes posing. I did notice something else really quick. One blind is open and the other blind's closed. That's annoying too. The symmetry of that is really off.
Yeah, Dale, where are you guys at?
We're in our family, in our kid, whatever.
I mean.
Look at the picture behind him.
I mean, Steve's calling you out, bro.
Yeah, well, I know he is, but he looks at this picture like you look at it like I do. Really good looking family, save for me.
I didn't even notice the real people in the front.
All he saw was the picture behind us and said, "This is ridiculous. I don't even want to look at it." Yeah. He's a weird dude.
Who takes a picture in front of a picture of yourself? And then I also said today, I said you should have lined up like the picture behind you guys.
We didn't even know the picture was there.
But now the blinds, one being open and one being closed, is kind of annoying.
Well, the one on the left is a sliding glass door.
Oh, is that what that? Okay,
door.
So that's different. It just looked like a window. Okay, that's different.
Jeez,
okay, I'll forgive that. I'll forgive that.
It's kind of like his Jonathan Gannon thing. Hey, look at his right eyebrow, the way it's twitching.
Yeah. All right. No, I have a sickness.
You do.
But yeah. So every picture I take now, I'm going to have a picture of me behind it. Everything I do now, moving forward. So yeah, I don't know. That's been on my mind the last couple of days.
Goodness gracious.
Dale goes home and tells Brooke how sick I am in the head. So
not a very nice.
I'm being ostracized from the family now, Bruce. It's embarrassing. What's happening, man? What's new for the last week?
Well, I tell you what, I was watching some great NFL wildcard football. I mean, the fourth quarters have been outstanding, save the Patriots and, of course, last night's game. Yeah. And you know what? I don't know what's up with Aaron Rodgers these days. I mean, seriously, I used to argue that he was the greatest quarterback of all time, just from a talent standpoint. Yeah. So people would argue and talk about Tom Brady. I said, no, Tom Brady is the most accomplished, but the most talented by far is Aaron Rodgers. And so we used to get into these debates about that. Yeah. But I'm telling you, man, I probably watched 4 Steelers games this year with Aaron Rodgers. Every time he's throwing his hands up, he's complaining, he's on the bench, he's bitching about something.
He's always done that, Coop.
I don't remember that in Green Bay.
Not as much.
I don't remember that in Green Bay. I mean, it's
at the end of McCarthy, he was definitely doing it.
It's just annoying. I wouldn't want to play with it.
No, again, and I don't know what it is. I thought maybe that the Cardinals offensive coordinator went up and started calling plays in Pittsburgh.
Well, that thing had already got a job in Pittsburgh. Well, I've always said about Aaron Rodgers is he's the greatest talent to come out in our generation. He's the greatest talent.
Oh, so you're saying that as well then?
But what I say is Aaron Rodgers, though, Green Bay should have won
more
3 or 4 more Super Bowls.
I agree with you.
They did not win Super Bowls because of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So he's got the most talent, but that talent and his attitude actually kept Green Bay from winning more Super Bowls.
I mean, clearly, you know, he's digressed. He's not the same quarterback he was 10 years ago. I mean, that goes without saying. But I mean, dude, the attitude, the behavior of this guy,
Facial
his demeanor,
that's what did him and Mike McCarthy. And was Mike McCarthy like Mike McCarthy would send a play in, and Aaron Rodgers would literally be like, "That's the stupidest play call I've ever heard," and then change it. That's what did them in.
What I would say, Coop, is I would say the two best throwers of the football, the prettiest throwers of football, Dan Marino and Aaron Rodgers. And what do they have in common? They have one Super Bowl.
Yeah, one and one lost.
But I would put him in that category as far as in his prime.
Well, I put him in the Peyton Manning category of knowing the offense, where people are supposed to be, reading the defenses. He's one of the best of all time.
Yeah. You know, I still remember a playoff game against the Dallas Cowboys. Aaron Rodgers was flushed out of the pocket. He was rolling to his left, and it's just like he flicked his wrist. Ball went 50 yards. I mean, right on the money.
Everybody else has to like lean back, and they're hurling it as hard as they can. He just,
he's just.
Well, remember those Hail Marys against the Cardinals?
Sure, I do. I was at that game, and he was driving me crazy. I mean, he threw not one but two,
two in a game.
Freaking Hail Marys, and so you can't call it luck.
Well, it's kind of like the Bears quarterback.
Oh, Caleb? Yeah, Caleb was sensational. Let me tell you something.
That fourth down play.
I know we talked about it here on the show about how Ben Johnson has returned the confidence level of Caleb Williams to the point to where it looks like he's now back at either Oklahoma or USC because he's just the plays he makes off script are just incredible. That play that you're talking about, that fourth down play, dude, I don't know. I mean, I'm like. I'm trying to get the first down and not throw a 50-yard bomb. But my gosh, it was
Packers around
dude.
him.
It was perfect. Lobbed. It was over one group and ahead of another. I'm like, dude.
Do you know who I equate Caleb Williams to right now? Kyler Murray. And what I mean by that is 3.5 quarters, Ben Johnson was ready to fire Caleb Williams because he was not doing well.
Yeah.
And then he just wakes up, and now he's doing these spectacular things on the field on top of it. He's got that spectacular side in him, but can he do it for a whole game?
Well, you can't compare him to Kyler Murray because Kyler Murray's never won a playoff game.
But you know what I'm talking about. Look, Kyler Murray will do something spectacular, and you're like, there's the guy, and then he'll suck for 3 quarters.
Kyler has that escapability, that wow to him, but you're right. Yeah, he has to show more consistency.
They kept penning the ball, the cameras to Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson would just be like,
yeah, and I'll tell you something. Have you guys noticed the list of candidates the coaching candidates for the Cardinals?
Oh, I got them for you.
And if so, I want to get your take from that list.
Before we talk, we need to celebrate something today.
Oh, what's that?
We should have a party. We should have a cake here.
What did Dale do?
No.
Oh.
The Cardinals had a phone conversation with John Harbaugh yesterday.
Zoom.
Let's celebrate. They got a phone call. Cardinals going for it all there with that phone call with John Harbaugh yesterday.
Well,
the fact that they announced that all excitingly was kind of sad.
Yeah, I'll say this much. You know, the Phoenix Suns tried a couple veterans, Vogel, Budenholzer, before going young with Ott, and Ott has really changed the culture. Mm-hmm. Now, the Cardinals have been going young, or just inexperienced first-time coach since, including Bruce Arians, who had the experience at least.
Right.
So I'm anxious to see, and we don't know if Mike Tomlin's going to come available, but when you talk about setting a culture, coaching coaches, and empowering those coaches to develop the players, that's important. That's important. That's what I feel that has really been missing with this Jonathan Gannon staff, because too many times we've heard him say, "Oh, I'm pleased with that call. I'd have made the same call." No,
I know what they're doing, and I support it.
And so John Harbaugh to me is a guy that, and even Mike Tomlin to that same point, they're going to coach up their coaches, and those coaches now are going to empower and develop the players. And if Tomlin or Harbaugh doesn't like what's being disseminated with those coaches, they let them know, or they'll make changes.
I disagree with that 100%.
You do.
One of the reasons Harbaugh's out of a job is he didn't want to get rid of his offensive coordinator,
who
struggled the last several years, by the way. And he's been with them a long time.
Monken?
Yeah.
I don't know how long he's been with them.
I'll say this. I do recall them make the Ravens making a offensive coordinator change to tailor the offense more suited to Lamar Jackson.
But my problem with guys that were with a team for 18 years and they come right out of it. I brought up Jimmy Johnson, right? He leaves the Cowboys, tons of success with the Hurricanes, with the Cowboy, goes to Miami, forgets how to coach football. Can't do it. I worry about those guys that are a team for a long time because it's different when you go someplace else.
Well, I'm just talking just from a cultural standpoint. I think that's what's missing in Arizona Cardinals country.
Well, you know who you go get, Coop, if you want to change the culture?
Matt Nagy.
No, there's one name out there.
Robert Saleh.
He resides in Bloomington, Indiana.
Oh, you talking about Cignetti?
Yeah, you're talking about changing the culture.
Yeah.
My goodness gracious.
Well, I mean, with the names, right? They got the Rams defensive coordinator, Chris Shula, on this list. Rams offensive coordinator, Mike LaFleur, and everybody wants him for a new guy.
Why?
I know. Because he doesn't make the play calls. It's McVay's offense. This is like hiring somebody from Andy Reid's thing. It never works out.
Right.
Because they're not the main guys in it. But everybody's on him. Packers defensive coordinator, Jeff Hoffman. Did anybody see the Packers defense this year by chance?
Well,
especially after Parsons.
Yeah, not good. By the way, Trey Diggs. One play on Sunday, and he got ran over in that one play.
Yeah.
That guy's done, isn't he?
Well,
that's why the Cowboys cut him?
Yeah, well, he's also – when you're done talent-wise and you have attitude problems –
it's a hard mix.
That's a bad combination.
Yeah. You got Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. The Saints fired him in all intents and purposes when they made the coaching change last year. And he goes to the Seahawks and has a good year on the offensive side. In terms of the new guys, Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver, Patriots guy Thomas Brown as a new guy. You can go young and hire. They've shown this, right? A lot of teams have done this recently. Liam Cohen in Jacksonville, success. Panthers head coach, success. Seattle's head coach, success as new guy. But if you go young, you have to get the right guy or it goes sideways. And the Cardinals just don't get the right guys from that perspective on the young guys.
I think from the Cardinals' perspective, they need to hire a coach who's had previous head coaching experience. That's number one.
But they have three guys on the list, or only two. Vance Joseph's never been a head coach, right? Has he? No, I don't think he has been.
Yeah, he has. He was head coach. Yeah, he was with the Broncos.
Oh, the Broncos. Okay. And then, Robert Saleh, of course, and then Matt Nagy and Raheem Morris. So four. I swear to, if Matt Nagy comes here, I've decided I'm going to become a Chargers fan. I'm renting a bus every Sunday for Chargers home games, and we're getting chartered service to L.A. and chartered service home. You're welcome to join my bandwagon.
Yeah, well, since my guy Spagnuolo of the Chiefs is not even on the list, no. I guess of the people who are on the list, I would certainly look at Saleh because he's a guy that brings a lot of emotion. He's got a little Pete Carroll in him. Even when his players make great plays, he's up jumping, giving the high fives, and he's emotional.
But he sets the tone also.
Right, and if something is going awry with officials, I mean, he's out screaming his head off. He's not your Jonathan Gannon robot.
Statue. Well, the other thing about Saleh that I like also is one, he was in an organization that didn't support him in the Jets. Nobody wins there. But the other thing I like about him is what happened to the 49ers defense this year. Does anybody know?
I'm amazed that they're still alive. Yeah. I mean, the 49ers as a team.
Lost Fred Warner, Bosa. Yeah. They're on their 5th and 6th level of linebackers. And
they're pulling people off the couches. Yeah, and
that's what I wanted to see, and that's what you see. So you can get through the injuries.
Yeah, and so it's been quite remarkable. I mean, they've had major injuries on both sides. Hey, Kittles went down with an Achilles, and so I'm like, wow.
Haven't had Ayuk all year. Purdy missed half a season.
Purcell was
on and on.
They traded away Deebo Samuel. Yeah.
But on the defensive side, he's able to overcome those and face that adversity.
You look at it, and that linebacker core could be Bruce Cooper, Dale Ellis, Steve McCullough.
And I can't tell you how we're getting the job done.
I have faith that he would get us to get it done. He'd put us in the right position. I'm not opposed to Vance Joseph as being your head coach. My only problem with Vance Joseph coming back It's just the way he left. He wanted to be a coach here, and they kind of forced him out. Ends up in Denver, and having really good success. So Vance Joseph worries me from that perspective. Sometimes when you have a bad experience somewhere, you don't go back.
Then you don't hire him.
Well,
but he's on the list.
It was that bad of an experience, then you don't hire him.
Yeah. Well, I'm not talking from his perspective, not the Cardinals' perspective.
Well, I look at it like this. There's a lot of angry Cardinal fans out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, save excitement from the draft, and we don't know what the Cardinals do. I pray they don't select an offensive lineman with the third
that's what
overall
everybody's
pick.
mocking.
Offensive line, and then that new defensive line guy,
It would be a colossal. Okay, let's look at this. And when Gannon and Ossenfort came in, they had the third overall pick. Will Anderson was being mocked to him. Boy, would you look at Will Anderson now?
Is he okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I've talked on the show about
I
going
think
after.
I think he's got Aaron Rodgers' number tattooed on him. He hit him so much last night.
I've talked about going after the skill level people when you're in the top 10. You're not
right.
that dude. And so I had him mocked with some guy named Bijan Robinson.
Right.
They did neither. They took Paris Johnson Jr. Now Johnson's an okay offensive lineman, but he doesn't impact games the way Bijan Robinson and Will Anderson do.
Right.
It's just, and so I've seen Mauiaga from Miami being mocked to the Cardinals at 3.
There.
Meantime, I'm telling you, I've been through this before. There was a guy named Levi Brown.
He didn't love football.
And the Cardinals took him at 5 overall and left some guy named
Adrian
Peterson on the board.
Yeah.
Again, I just talked about you cannot leave Jeremiah Love on the board. You can trade down and try to pick up an additional second-round pick, but you want to stay in the top 10 when you do so. And you have to take Jeremiah Love. The Cardinals' run game is brutal.
But the thing is, Coop, if, in fact, that Miami right tackle is the third best player in the draft.
There is no tackle that is the third best player in the draft.
But say he is.
He's not.
Everybody's mocking
He's
him.
not.
Well, then you should be able to trade down to 5, 6, 7. But the question is, who wants to move up for that? Well, is anybody going to move up to 3 to try and take Jeremiah Love?
I disagree with him.
Yeah.
There's the Reuben Bain at Miami, the defensive end / outside linebacker, the edge rusher. I would take him at 3 over Mauiaga. There's no question about it. Why? Because he's going to impact. He's going to make impact plays.
Right.
That Mauiaga is not. I mean, it just doesn't get any simpler than that.
I've seen Arvell Reese be mocked too. Now that
Arvell Reese is another linebacker.
I don't think you should take a defensive linebacker or an offensive lineman at number 3. To me, it needs to come in and be a dominant player right off the bat. And when he comes in there at that third spot.
And let me tell you something. I've said it on this show before. I can name you 3 running backs right now. Actually 4. But you have Jahmyr Gibbs, you have Bijan Robinson, you have Christian McCaffrey, you have Saquon Barkley. These guys are not only electric running the ball, but they kill you in the pass game as well. Mm-hmm. You don't have – I mean, there's Christian McCaffrey catching an over-shoulder catch from who was it, Jennings that made the throw? Yeah, and then there he is in the end zone catching the game winner from Purdy from 4 or 5 yards out.
Sure.
Dude, he causes havoc for defensive coordinators. If they put a linebacker on him, you see the long pass. Now you're forced to take out a linebacker and bring in a dime coverage.
Here's the problem, though. What would you do with Love? I mean, you have Trey Benson. I'm sorry. I try to say it with a straight face. I try.
A Love is not only a home run hitter, but he's also a proficient receiver out of the backfield.
But it's going to come down to the head coach, right? They hire a defensive head coach.
Look, if you're a defensive head coach, what keeps your defense fresh? Ball control, running the ball.
Well, I don't disagree.
And so you have to take the best player on the board that's going to give you the greatest impact. That's not going to be an offensive lineman.
I just don't have any faith in the Cardinals to be one of those teams that bring a young head coach in here. They failed miserably the last 2. 3, Steve Wilkes being the third one. And then, of course, like you said, they hit with Bruce Arians. But he had coaching experience and head coaching.
Arians was 90.
But Arians also brought in, what did he do? He brought in Tom Moore, who's for some reason still coaching in the NFL at 172. Yeah, I think he was 20 when Dale was in the NFL back in the day.
But you're getting
but you're bringing the
point.
experience.
Yeah. You guys who have seen that before.
That was the Cardinals' problem.
The Cardinals
they
didn't
couldn't figure their way out of a wet paper bag at times during this season and stuff. So it's just I don't know. But they got a phone call with John Harbaugh. But where's Mike McDaniel on this list?
Mike McDaniel's not in my top 5.
You wouldn't bring him in?
You have a top 5? Who's your top 5?
He's not going to be as expensive as Harbaugh.
Well, Spagnola's before him.
Yeah,
okay. Saleh for sure.
Yeah.
From that point.
What about Raheem Morris?
No. From there, I'm going with Kubiak.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
what tells you he's going to be good as a head coach?
Well, I look at it like this, and maybe it was just meant to happen, but Jackson Smith and Jigba and Sam Darnold, they're playing at levels we haven't seen before.
I would like an offensive coordinator. If it's not Salah, I want an offensive coordinator, an offensive guy in here.
Yeah, I mean, look. In Jigba, I play fantasy football.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have drafted a guy in the first 7 rounds. If I'm taking a wide receiver in every round, I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
But my goodness, did he take off?
Right.
Sam Darnold, he had a nice bounce back year in Minnesota, but he elevated that even more in Seattle. And I don't doubt this for 1 second that their great defense that they have there that keeps them in games and stuff allows them to. But I have to give Kubiak some type of props.
He would be the one young guy that I'd lean towards. I'm not sold that he's going to be a guy that's going to become. Now, granted, I don't know enough about him. I will admit to you guys, I do not follow the Seattle Seahawks. Them and the Niners, actually, I don't like them. Period. Since Pete Carroll left, I haven't been a fan of theirs, so I don't watch a lot of them. But I don't know his person. Robert Salah is a fiery guy.
Yeah,
he's going to command the best out of everybody.
He'd be the guy I'd go for.
I don't know if Clint Kubiak's that guy, and that's me not knowing if he is or not. I'm not saying he's not or he is. I don't know if he is, but that's what you need. You need the opposite of the statue.
What say you, Dale?
Yeah.
Who'll be your guy for the Cardinals
on
their list?
I guess of the names that are being talked about that are realistic, I'd probably say Salah, but bring in an strong offensive mind,
like a Mike McDonald,
like McDaniel.
McDaniel.
Does he have the confidence to be able to do that? See,
I think he does.
The thing that we don't know is when you sit down and interview the guy, are you willing to bring in? Because there are some coaches who want to be the smartest guy in the room. Those don't tend to be your most successful. There's some coaches who want guys as smart or smarter than them in the room, and they're okay with that, with their ego and all that. I like Salah's fire. I like his leadership ability. I like the fact that he's been with a moribund franchise.
Yeah.
And hopefully he's learned a few things from that experience.
I just looked it up because I started thinking. His offensive coordinator with the Jets was Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah.
That was a monumental mistake.
That was a Aaron Rodgers request.
But I mean, I don't. That might not give me the faith that he can hire a quality offensive coordinator. Isn't that funny? I just looked at that's where my reaction. I was like, didn't he have a bad offensive coordinator in the Jets?
Yeah, but when you're bringing on an Aaron Rodgers to help turn your franchise around, and Aaron says, I want
Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah, and then he started naming some of his receivers he had in Green Bay that he wanted on there as well. So
all the players in Green Bay, he was like, I can't play with any of these guys in Green Bay. You have to let me go. And then he goes to the Jets, and all those players he couldn't play with in Green Bay, all of a sudden they're playing with them in Jets land.
Yeah.
It's like so
I wouldn't hold that against.
All right, my opinion just changed. Raheem Morris, to me, I'm not a Raheem Morris fan. I never have been, but he's done something. What I'm looking at is like what they do, 8-9. 2 years in a row with the Atlanta Falcons. That's underperforming with their talent. No doubt. He ruined the quarterback situation. He messed it up with
Cousins,
and then the other guy from Washington, the young kid.
Yeah,
he messed that up this year, but he got them. The team never quit, and he got them to 8-9. Wouldn't it just be fantastic if the Cardinals had 2 8-9 years in a row? Can we get to that level? His team doesn't quit on him. I don't think he's going to get you to a Super Bowl. But I'm just saying that's somebody that if you hired him, I wouldn't I wouldn't jump off a bridge if you did it.
Yeah.
My guy, though, which it doesn't look like he's going to be available, is the LaFleur brother in Green Bay.
Oh, Mike LaFleur.
And that's because look what he does in Green Bay. Green Bay doesn't generally get a high free agent and spend a lot of money on him.
Oh, Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur. They don't generally, trade for big name guys. They did this year, but they generally don't do it. They go through the draft picks, and every year they just make the playoffs. Now they're disappointing in Green Bay standards. That's the type of coach you want. You see that with Salah. You see that with Raheem Morris. Like I said, I'm not a Raheem Morris fan. That's not who I want. But look what he's done in Atlanta. We just can't get to those levels. We can't get to those standards.
They invested. They backed up the Brinks truck and gave all this money.
I get it. He underperformed.
To Kirk Cousins. Yeah, he underperformed so badly that they went with Michael Penix. Yeah. And, Penix, a rookie at that time, I think this was just this second year, this past year here.
But then he got hurt.
And he got hurt again. I mean, the guy used to get hurt in Indiana.
But I want to be able to. I wanted to be able to see the way we just went through with Jonathan Gannon, where there was so much adversity that hit this Cardinals team, and it's just like they gave up. I don't know if I told you when you were on there, but I told Dale, I had a conversation with somebody that's just a fan. They don't follow it like we do. They don't watch press conferences. And their response was with Jonathan Gannon before he got fired was like, I go, why don't you want him around anymore? And he goes, I just feel like he doesn't care. I feel like he just gives up. And he doesn't care to get better. He's just here. And I don't agree with that. He tried hard and he did all that.
His sideline demeanor gives up.
And I'm like, this is just a common fan that wakes up, is excited to watch the Cardinals play, wants them to win. It helps, it ruins their week when they lose type of a fan. Doesn't follow it like we do with the behind-the-scenes stuff and everything. And that's their opinion. That's terrible.
Well, ESPN has Clint Kubiak.
They do. I saw that
as a choice.
I'm not opposed to it.
Right?
I mean, what they've done with that Seattle offense is amazing. Yeah. But I just don't. What adversity does he have?
But here's the deal. Let's break down.
Fired in the Saints?
Let's break down what Kubiak is able to do offensively. There, it starts with their running game. They got Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet.
I'll go a step farther. Offensive line is dominant.
Well, their offensive line is nothing special.
Oh, but that's my point.
Oh.
That's my point.
I got you.
Watch them block when they play the Niners this weekend. They will open holes, and they're nothing where you're going to write home to and say, this is our best offensive line in the whole league.
Right.
And they're going to perform and hit those blocks.
Right. Okay, Dale, you got something to say? I see it.
No. I was just sitting there again. For me to form an opinion on Clint Kubiak, I can look at the results, and again, you look at what he. You're talking about two different Ohio State receivers. I don't know where Jackson.
Yeah, why you want to go there, man?
I don't know where JSN was drafted. I don't think he was drafted number 4, was he?
No, but I think he's more like maybe 17 or 18.
Yeah, he was in the first round.
So maybe there's a little magic there. Maybe he can come down and turn the higher draft pick into something. And obviously, when you look at what he's done offensively, that Seattle team is something special.
Yeah. Now when the Cardinals were an 8-win team a year ago. Mm-hmm. And then you even go back the year before that when they again jumped off to the first half. They have like 6-7 wins, and before they crash in the second half, they able to run the ball with James Conner.
Right.
You can't come now. The Cardinals can't be foolish enough to think that they can bring back a 32-year-old James Conner coming off injury and think, dude, it's time to turn the page. And I'm going to tell you, you have to look and you have to say, okay, we missed it with Trey Benson. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Well, a new coaching staff can make that decision. Gannon wasn't going to make it, but a new coaching staff can.
Yeah. It's just time to turn the page.
Here's my problem with Kubiak, because I looked it up, because he's fairly new in the coaching circles as a name. So Minnesota Vikings offensive coordinator in 2021, quarterbacks coach from 19 to 20, offensive quality control from 13 to 14. Then he went to the Denver Broncos, passing game coordinator and quarterbacks coach in 22, offensive assistant quarterbacks coach from 16 to 18. Then he went to the Niners as passing game coordinator in 2023, Saints offensive coordinator in 2024. The whole coaching staff gets blown out. Offensive coordinators, I don't think that's enough behind you. So with what you just have gone through with your last 3 coaches, I don't know if you can take a chance on a guy like that. He might turn out to be a Hall of Fame head coach.
Yeah.
But can the Cardinals afford to bring a guy in with this lack of experience to be your head coach?
Again, I agree with you. And look, I made a mistake when I listed him in my top 5 because It went against my. I forgot. He has not been a head coach anywhere, and I think that's
Nowhere.
where you start. That's
Even in
number one.
college, a wide receivers coach
Yeah.
for Kansas in
Yeah.
2015,
And so,
graduate
yeah,
assistant, offensive quality control at Texas A&M. Never been to that level. Look, he might be a Hall of Famer coach someday. We might look back and go, "Oh my God, he's a Hall of Fame coach with this team."
But
the Cardinals
no.
you can't
You're
you
right.
can't take a chance on a guy like that in that situation.
I think that the number one in my mind, far and away, the more that we nonsensely talk about it because we have no choice, but is Robert Salah.
I agree. He's my number one
I
guy.
think he fits just about all the parameters that I would be looking for.
He's my number one guy
You know?
over John Harbaugh. Yeah, John Harbaugh's not coming. That's a pipe dream. But if John Harbaugh did show interest in Arizona, I would still want Robert Salah over John Harbaugh.
Well, I hear that John Harbaugh is also interviewing in New York with the Giants, and I think that would probably be a landing spot for him.
All he's done is he's going to command control. Forget about the money.
Sure.
He wants control.
Sure.
And there's limited teams that'll give him control and stuff like that. All he's done, so like Atlanta came out yesterday. I did some research into this overnight. Atlanta came out and said they interviewed him. All he's done so far are those phone interviews because he's going to narrow it down and go, I'm going to go to these 3 teams. I'm going to go interview with these teams. He's not going to make the rounds to everybody and all that stuff. So that's all he's done. So you see Atlanta. But I'm hearing today he's looking at Atlanta, which to me is not a bad team to go to with the talent they got. So you got Atlanta, and then he's saying he likes the Titans because of their $100 million in cap space. But the Titans have some politics and stuff in their front office.
And nobody wants to go play with the Titans.
Yeah, that's my point right there as well. And then, of course, the Giants. The thing that muddies the water on the Giants for me is they might have interest. They want him. But if they lose him, they have interest in a couple of the guys.
Giants have some nice pieces there. Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbors. Who can forget Cam Scattergood?
They got the defensive guy.
But they got a running back that got hurt this year, but he'll start ahead of Cam, and Cam will be that battering rod behind him. I just forgot his name right now. No, they have a lot of talents up there, and I can't remember his name right now, but he got hurt early. That's why Cam started running the ball so much, was he got hurt. I can't remember his name right now. But the Giants have a lot of stuff, but Giants can pay it. Dare I phrase it this way, but I will. Their owner, Mara, has cancer. Is being treated for it. What I mean by that is you tend to realize, like Jerry Jones is doing right now, we better win now. I don't know if I'll be around in 4 or 5
Well,
6
Jerry
years.
Jones he wants to win 4 more.
Yeah, he has to win 4 more to
Before he
beat
dies.
Robert Kraft. Yeah, he wants to go down as the number one guy.
Hey, Coop, I want to change the subject because I know you saw this kid play in high school.
Before you bring up the subject here, let's not forget the Cardinals got a phone call with John Harbaugh, everybody. All right, go ahead, Dale.
You saw Brock Purdy in high school.
Uh-huh.
Down there at Perry.
What were your highest aspirations for him when you saw him play in high school?
Well, to be honest with you, I thought he was a little slight. I didn't know that he could withstand the rigors of being a Division I quarterback. He ran. Look, he had a brother behind him named Chubba. Chubba was more of a physical type guy that you had confidence that he could withstand the rigors and pains and things of and the physicality of Division I football. But Brock reminded me of, remember a guy named Tim Rattay?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Tim Rattay, his dad.
Yeah. Tim was this cerebral guy. I mean, he was just prepared. So that's what I thought of Brock Purdy, just prepared. And he was surprisingly athletic. I mean, I remember some of those playoff and championship games with Chandler, where Chandler has a lot of D1 talent on both sides of the ball. And here's Brock pulling off 25, 30-yard runs. Right. I mean, he just was elusive. He had this knack, but he was always prepared. And so I thought that he could be do what he did at a school like Iowa State. I didn't think that he could really relish in the Power 4 schools, that the blue bloods of those. And so it surprised me when I was talking to his dad, Sean, that Alabama gave a call and he was going to go visit there. I said, wow.
Right.
Alabama must really.
But wasn't that real late?
Yeah, it was.
Late, yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, I was talking with Sean. It was like during the playoffs and stuff. He was telling me how nobody wants Brock. No, he had not a single offer.
Yeah.
None. Alabama called him, and all of a sudden, here they all come. Here they come. And he winds up at Iowa State. Now, look, what he did at Iowa State, I mean, look, he had some great times, but when he was the Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the draft, I was just hoping that he could hang on and make the roster. Yeah. And here he is today. Dale, he surprised me, but I tell you what, Brock Purdy's all that. Yeah. He's a bad dude.
That's what cracks me up about Brock Purdy is I've talked to another reporter, I won't name him just in case he doesn't want me to, about him. He saw him play in high school, and he was like, I thought he was going to end up at NAU or something to that effect, and that'd be the height of his career. Yeah. And then it's funny because then you see guys that do quarterback coaching and stuff like that around town, and he makes it to the Niners, and they're like, it's all because of me. I got him to that point. It's like nobody back then, if you talk to realistic people, thought he had any future. And not only is he a bad dude, just his physicality.
Yeah,
that's what shocks me the most.
I'm gonna name you three Arizona high school quarterbacks, and I'm gonna tell you what they all have in common. Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard,
and then every team in the NFL,
a seventh round pick in the NFL.
Yeah,
Tim Rattay went to Louisiana Tech.
Right.
I mean, he comes in, and he went to Louisiana Tech. Yeah. I'm not sure if he was a 6th round pick or an undrafted free agent.
Yeah. Right.
And then you have Brock Purdy, Iowa State, the very last pick in the draft. Yeah. Each one of these guys, the number one thing I would say about each one of them when I covered them in high school, cerebral.
Yeah.
I mean, they can process the game. They're well prepared. Right. I mean, they can. That's the number one thing that stood out to me.
Now, Bruce, I do have I have a gripe. Okay, Richard Ober came out with the 5 best athletes in the history of high schools.
Here we go. Get ready for this.
And I was voted 4th in the history of Saguaro High School.
4th in the history of Saguaro?
You know who he picked ahead of me? Some goofball named Christian Kirk was ahead of me.
Some guy named
gosh, now I'm forgetting their names. He went to ASU.
Number 8.
DJ Foster.
Yeah, DJ Foster, and then Mike Brown.
Hey, I've covered every one of those players. Yeah. Now, Mike Brown, believe it or not, he was our Friday Night Fever Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
The dude had probably 1,900 rushing yards and maybe 35 touchdowns, but he became a defensive star in the NFL.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Here's Christian Kirk last night catching passes. How's that guy ranked ahead of me, Kirk? Huh?
Dale, you're Richard Ober. Well, we'll have to talk to Richard about this. We'll have to check his mental acuity, right?
Yeah.
What was it? Eight catches, 144 yards last night.
Hey, look, he looked like he did that year. The Cardinals went 7-0, 10-2.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the number
10-2 before they fell apart.
Yeah, he was the number 2 to DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah. I mean, every time you looked up, Murray's throwing bombs. I mean, he caught I remember as a game, he caught 3 bombs in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That was back when Murray could throw it deep. They allowed him to throw it deep.
Well, there you go. Because it ain't like he can't.
Yeah. Those are some beautiful balls he threw to him.
Oh, sure. Look.
Perfect spirals, 40 yards down the field.
Look, I've come to know that these guys that are prolific baseball players, like your Patrick Mahomes, I mean, they're the ones that can make all these throws with the different arm angles and things like that. So it's just a matter of getting some and see that's why I really wasn't a Drew Petzing fan. Because, see, Drew Petzing brought his offense from Cleveland to Arizona. And then I remember Jacoby Brissett saying, oh, it's seamless. I had this in Cleveland.
Right.
So now you have a coach who brought an offense, square peg. He takes a quarterback, square hole, Kyler Murray, and says, you got to fit it in here.
Right.
Instead of changing their stuff.
And so when you bring in Brissett is that square hole that goes in that system. So that already tells me that we have an offensive coordinator that is unwilling or cannot adjust his system to fit the talent.
I don't think he could.
What do you mean he could?
I don't think he knew how.
No,
Well,
He's like,
okay,
this. He's like,
I
this
got
is
you.
what I know. I'm sticking to what
okay,
I know.
I got you.
I can't change it.
And
I got you.
therein
I got you.
lies
The problem.
all I need to know about a coach.
Yeah.
If I can't come into a new spot and go, I got this guy and I got this guy and I got this guy.
Mm-hmm.
My old scheme
Yeah.
ain't gonna make
I'd
them
be playing Madden left and right
Yeah.
to figure out what game
Yeah,
plays
yeah,
Madden tells me I need to develop. For
Yeah,
these
you
guys.
know, I heard that Munkin went and sat down. This is what I've read, and asked Lamar, "What are your favorite plays? Give me your top 10 favorite plays." Then he went back and watched film when he was at Louisville, and he tried to mirror his offense to fit some of those schemes. So there's a coach that you like
at the beginning, but now Munkin and him didn't talk for 3 months.
Well, for whatever reason, let's put it like this: under Munkin, Lamar was a 2-time league
early on in the
MVP. Now, who knows what transpires from an attitudinal standpoint or that type of deal? That's what fractured. You know, it wasn't necessarily the playbook because we've seen the playbook with him.
It was something.
And he's been a 2-time league MVP.
I'm going to tell you a quick story because when you said that, it conjured up my memory. Do you remember the name Chan Gailey?
Yeah, with the Dallas Cowboys.
He was in Pittsburgh, came to Dallas as the head coach. Troy was so excited about him. Troy and I actually got into a fight because I said, "Hey, let's pump the brakes. We don't know what kind of coach he is."
Who won the fight?
He's a good. Well,
That's what I want to know.
I didn't finish Troy because I figured that might be the end of my career too. So,
do you have a red jersey on? So
and as we're sitting there going through the season, you know, Chan Gailey, what it required Troy to give him his 10 favorite pass plays each week going into a game, and he had a tournament on Saturday. And Troy comes burst into my hotel room the night before game, this midway through the season, slams the door because blankety blank, you were right. This guy sucks. Do you realize for about 6 weeks in a row, Chan Gailey did not call any of those pass plays that Troy put down as his favorites?
Why even ask?
Is that right?
A future Hall of Fame quarterback. What are your favorite pass plays? Aren't you opening the game with one of those? That the quarterback likes the best.
Those might be my first 10 passing plays.
Is that
just
not
to
crazy?
appease
So
him.
when you brought up the Munkin thing, and Lamar, it wasn't the early days. That was 2 years ago. He's MVP, right?
No, he's been 2 of the last 3 years. So I guess 2 of the last 4 now.
Yeah, last 4, yeah. No, that's what I mean by. But Lamar's also been going downhill too. But I don't know how much of that. Lamar's a different beast. Lamar's attitude is a different.
Well,
beast,
here's the deal. I've said it, and I've heard others say the same thing. Lamar ain't gonna last.
No.
The dude runs a heck of a lot with the ball, and he does not slide or go down or run out of bounds. He'll take that hit.
Yeah.
He'll take that hit. I admire his courage. I admire his tenacity, his will to win. But, dude, this is the National Football League.
Yeah.
And it's a different beast. Dude, look, even Josh Allen and Ben Roethlisberger get roughed up, and they're much bigger physically than you are. Dude, slide your butt. Run out of bounds. That's unbelievable.
Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter reportedly interviewing with the Cardinals here this week. I don't know. That does get me excited.
Let me tell you something. I look at John Harbaugh more than I do Minter here. I mean, the Chargers do play with a certain bit of physicality. Yes. Now, their offensive line has been decimated with injuries, and I just felt so bad for Justin Herbert. That brother got
murdered. At one point, I'm pretty sure he got knocked out on the field.
Yeah,
it was just like, wow.
And so, but the Chargers do play a physical brand of football, and so I can see where Jesse Minter would get up there because their defense is physical, and they run to the ball.
Minter's interviewing with all 8 teams with openings as well. Wow. Not everybody's doing that, so that tells you that there's respect for him around the league as well. But before we take our break here, I just want to reiterate, folks, Cardinals got a phone call from John Harbaugh.
Oh, Dale, I see where that picture of you comes up. He won't let it go.
No.
I've never seen anybody get so excited about a phone call.
Oh, yes, you did.
Come on back, folks. The main event. We're back here, main event. Look at this guy, Bruce Cooper, folks. Makes the show so much more intelligent.
Well,
when he shows up on Tuesdays.
They'll just ask the question about the Suns tonight opening their 6-game Eastern road swing.
13-day road trip.
Yeah, and he asked me what would I view a successful road trip out of 6 games.
And I said
you
3
said
and 3.
3 and 3.
Don't think they played Detroit. They got the Heat, then Detroit, then the Knicks on the road, Nets, 76ers, and then Hawks.
Wow. So
now, this is a long road trip because normally you go Hawks. They'll kill the Hawks.
No,
but that's the last.
Hawks are a good team.
But that's the last. Well, not since they beat Trey.
He wasn't here in Phoenix when they beat Phoenix.
But I mean, when you play the Hawks, it's going to be your last game before you're back home, and those are always detrimental games, So, but 76ers, they're not very good either. You can probably beat them.
76ers are in 5th place.
Yeah,
in the
but
East.
5th place in the East, you'd be in 9th place in the West.
Let me tell you something. Have you looked at the standings in the West?
Yeah.
The Phoenix Suns are virtually tied for first place with the Lakers, who have the 5th spot. The Lakers are percentage points ahead of the Suns, who are 6th. But
Lakers
the Suns
are 622, Suns are 615.
Yeah, Suns are just a game and a half out of 4.
2 games
2
out of
3 and 3 out of 2.
Yeah.
We said it yesterday.
Second place.
I expect that my expectations have changed unless they don't get healthy. With Jalen Green coming back here any day now, I expect the Suns. Before I was like, they're going to be in the play-in game. Now they'll compete for 7th. Will they get there? Would be a question mark before the season. Suns are going to. I'm not saying they're going to get it, but the Suns will compete for. They'll be in the talk for the 5th and 6th seed at the end of the season if they stay healthy.
Well, they may surprise you and do even better than that.
I think they can get past the Timberwolves too. I just don't know if they can get past the Nuggets. Spurs,
we don't have to worry about that. How about this Eastern game?
The Eastern game. You said 3 and 3, and I heard the teams. I would hope the Suns could beat a Miami Heat team that's in the throes. I think they've lost maybe 3 or 4 or 5 games in a row now.
Yeah, Miami Heat, they've lost 3 in a row. Okay. They're 5 and 5 over the last 10.
Okay, so I figured you could beat them. The Nets are not a good team at all.
No.
That's 2.
And there's no back-to-back, so they play the Knicks, and then they have a day off, and then they play the Nets.
So
that means they'll be out in New York City.
And so you play the 76ers
around Manhattan,
who they have a really explosive guard in Maxey, and I'm telling you, the rookie Edgecombe. I watched this dude play at Baylor. I knew he was going to be something special.
But they're 22 and 16. But like I said, in the West, they actually would be like a 9th seed. Or 10 seed,
I think those are the 3 wins the Suns have to come away with, because Detroit's a tough out. The Knicks at home are tough, and they're going to be looking for revenge anyway. And then the Atlanta Hawks, like you said, it's the final game, and Atlanta's a really athletic team. But
didn't they send the message to their team, we don't want to win this year when you get rid of Trey?
Well, no, look.
Well, they won 3 in a row.
Hey, look, let me tell you something.
They won 3 in a row.
Let me tell you something. CJ McCollum, he can play. Him. He, as you know, he was
my cousin, Bruce.
Yeah, there you go. He was part of that backcourt in Portland with Dame.
I like him.
Dame,
I can't figure out what's happened to his career, man. He went from just a sharpshooter, everybody wants him, sharpshooter, and now he's just getting told around.
Well, when he went to New Orleans, I mean, if Big Ticket. And I just call him a friend. I mean, if the dude could have ever stayed healthy, I think that would have because the Pelicans actually have some pretty good talent. I like Herb Jones. I don't like that pesky Alvarado.
Alvarado.
I
call him avocado.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you have to put up with it, and you have to eat avocados, but you don't like it.
Yeah. If he was on my team, I'd like him, but he's one of those. He's one of those Dylan Brooks kind of guys.
I don't even think New Orleans likes him. I don't think his teammates like playing.
All right, now the next question I have then is Jaylen Brown's going to be coming back here soon.
Jalen Green.
Jalen Green. I'm sorry.
Wrong color.
No, wrong team. Jaylen Brown plays for Boston.
Celtics. I know. Yeah.
Same color, wrong team.
Well, I meant green, brown. Okay, anyway. I was talking about skin color.
How do you think that's going to go?
Well, you know.
I know he played one game.
It's so funny that one game he had 29 points. It was so explosive, but. I think the Suns are going to have to go through an adjustment period here. Yeah. I mean, because Ott has already come out and said when he's ready to go, he's going to start. but he'll get limited minutes. So now you're changing up that lineup. So it probably means that Colin Gillespie goes to the bench, and you have Booker Green, and you have Dylan Brooks, probably Royce O'Neal, though you could throw in number 8, our sharpshooter, Grayson Allen. You could throw in Allen along with Williams. But I would suspect they would go with O'Neal.
But with Colin Gillespie to me is struggling on the offensive side. Goodwin's kind of starting to struggle. They're playing a lot of minutes. Yeah. I think this could actually be a blessing in disguise. Meaning, yes, the roles will change, but they're not out there as much. They're not in the same minutes. They get some time off on the bench. I think that's actually going to help the Suns moving forward.
Well, you could be right because no question. I think that Gillespie's probably a little banged up. Yeah. He's been. I just love the way he plays.
I joke around like every game he looks like he has a career-ending injury at some point on the court. And then he just hops up and runs back on the court.
Yeah, and he plays with so much.
That's what I'm getting at. It's I think that's going to allow them to get some rest and not have to feel like they have to be out there all the time and playing them.
But it's also changing, the
chemistry.
Shot. Well, no, the shot distribution
at the end of the game.
Right, yeah. And like right now. You'd have to say that Dylan Brooks is the number 2 scorer, and that's obvious by his average. But Booker and Brooks are going to have to give up some shots to Green. Mm-hmm. And so that could be an adjustment as well.
But see, that's what worries me about Brooks is he's having just a career year.
He really is.
So
he really is.
He might be okay maybe taking a step back right now when Jalen Green comes back, where he can still be out there, still do this stuff. I'm just wondering. I don't think it's going to be a Lakers situation where LeBron came back and all of a sudden their chemistry just.
No, look. The Suns play too hard. The Suns play too hard defensively for that to take place.
I'm going to tell you one thing that really has impressed me, Coop, is the fact that Jalen Green's been there. You see him high-fiving teammates. You see him into the games. You see him happy for his teammates. You saw LeBron when he was playing and when he wasn't playing. Right. Now when he is playing, sitting on the end of the bench.
Yeah. Last night, eyeing his teammates from the end of the bench instead of being involved.
Dale, you make a great point because I'm going to tell you something. For a guy who has missed, you might as well say virtually the entire season up to this point, he has been like the biggest cheerleader. Mm-hmm. I mean, you talk about camaraderie, you talk about unity, you talk about liking your teammates. He epitomizes that.
Yes.
NBA players that are out for 4 weeks do not go on long road trips with their team.
Right. And of course, I know he got fined for it, but he gets in those post game interviews and stuff, and he's giving props to a guy so much so that he loses his mind. He lets some F words drop out of his mind. But I just love everything about him from a teammate standpoint. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
I love it, and it's who they're giving props to. Like Dylan Brooks does this too. It's Colin Gillespie.
Yeah,
it's the guy. It's not. Yeah, they do Devin Booker as well, but it's not the guys you expect it to be. It's the guys that perform on that night, and I like it. Not really quick before we get to some Diamondback stuff here as we go into overtime. Levitt to LSU. I said earlier today. I called it. A quitter head coach who gave up on his Ole Miss team to go to LSU now has a quitter quarterback in Sam Levitt that gave up on Arizona State. Now the two quitters are going to be good together.
Well, look, I don't know that I'd go that far with Sam Levitt. I do know this, that the money he's getting at LSU is going to top that at Arizona State.
I saw that rumor has it's $4.5 million.
I think he's getting three at ASU?
It was at least 2.5. I've heard 3, but I've been able to confirm 2.5. I haven't been able to confirm 3.
Yeah. So if he's going to play his final season and turn towards the NFL, that's $2 million, at least $2 million more that he's going to get. And so you don't know.
But it's not about the money, Coop.
Oh,
it wasn't about the money.
Sure. Well,
no, it wasn't about the money.
He did say that.
His
You're absolutely right.
It. Somebody put his dad's interview
Coop,
up.
How would you feel if you're sitting there, 40 years ago, sitting next to the general manager of Channel 12, floor seats at a Suns game, and you're talking about your job and all that, and all of a sudden, the general manager goes, "Hold on a second.
I got Ron Burgundy on the phone. I'm going to call him.
I got this other guy, and they start pursuing the guy in Oregon. Yeah. How did you feel about that?
Hey, look, I've seen that happen.
Yeah,
it's not a pleasant thing, especially if it's someone who's really popular there,
Right.
and you see them getting pushed out.
Right.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and so I've seen that several times. So it's not a good deal because now you as a teammate of the guy, you want to show that loyalty, and yet then when the new guy comes in, it's really tough because you don't want to. It's not his fault.
Right.
The new guy coming in, it's not his fault.
Yeah.
I mean, he just hired, and so you're put in a really tough situation. But
Yeah,
I've seen that. I've been there, seen that, done that.
As Coop was talking, I could see in his eyes he's thinking of a specific
Yeah.
situation.
There's specifics for sure. Make no doubt about it.
What about other thing here is Raiola to Oregon. Now he might not play this year. Depends if more.
Who's going to Oregon?
Dylan
Nebraska.
Raiola.
Raiola. Were you retired when he was down at Chandler?
No,
You were still there?
Hey, I was still there, and there's some Chandler coaches that did not like his dad. Let's put it like that.
Yeah,
his dad brought a ugly culture there, and Dylan, when he was at Chandler, honestly, he was a better practice player than he was a game player. Mm-hmm. I mean, some of the pressures, some of the things in a game got to him. But when you watch him throw a ball in practice, I mean, you talk about the Marino and the Aaron Rodgers passes.
Right.
I mean, this kid can throw a beautiful ball.
That was
really
back
can.
when he was wearing Ohio State shoulder pads. The Ohio State thing was hanging out the back.
And so
he committed there first.
Yeah, I looked at his numbers at Nebraska this past year, and because I saw his name was in the portal. I mean, his numbers were pretty decent. I mean, they weren't bad, but and I just think that.
Well, and he missed the last several games with that femur.
Yeah,
so.
I just thought that he was, especially at Chandler, he was more hype than he was that 5-star number one.
That's my general. I know Dale talks similar about it too, but everybody I've talked to about him, that seems to be at that. Reputation was bigger than what he actually was.
There's no question.
Which has got to be the case if Ohio
State
State moved on from him, Georgia moved on from him, now Nebraska. Now Nebraska was so tired of him. This is kind of they fired his uncle, who was a coach there.
now look. Let me tell you something. I don't know if his uncle was like his dad Dominic at Chandler. Where I'll just share this real quickly. I mean,
give us the dirt.
The big screen televisions that when the offense or defense comes off and they get something.
If you don't know, high school football has big televisions now that they watch the film on.
And so they'll go back and watch play.
Yeah.
Dominic destroyed 2 of those.
The dad?
The dad destroyed 2 of those.
Why is he even down there?
And so when they
I know he's the coach.
So when they get on him about it, he screamed back and said, "Look, I can buy 10 of those. This blank. And so he probably did go and replace them.
Right.
But that's not the point. The culture that he was establishing.
Man, I used to get mad at 2 coaches ago at Desert Ridge how they'd scream at the players at that. Right in front of all the family, the benches and all that stuff. They'd get in their face screaming at them like uncontrollably. Yeah. I couldn't imagine seeing a coach break a television in anger and then just being like, though I knew he was a coach there. But, I just wondered that because Raiola, broke his femur, and then I think it was I'm pretty sure it was his uncle, got fired as a coach there, and they moved on from him, and I was like, we're out there, welcome there.
Well, if he's going to Oregon and Dante Moore decides to come back, it has to be with the understanding that he's going to redshirt.
That's what they said was he would redshirt. I don't know if his femur is going to be fully healed going into next year, but we got to find out what Moore's doing.
Well, a femur is your thigh, right?
Yeah, that's a big bone.
It's a big one.
And so that's a big issue?
Yeah. Well,
is that right?
Well, I mean, it heals fine. It's just, I don't know. Are you ready to take a hit? I don't know. When was the last time a femur was broken? What's the healing process for a running quarterback, no less? I don't know. I don't know if it'll be healed where he can walk around and feel normal outside of football.
Well,
but
maybe redshirting is the best thing. I'll tell you what. If I were advising Dante Moore, based on what happened against Indiana, son, let's come on back. Let's roll
back. Okay, but
not only that,
I would make the argument. If you're telling me I'm going top 5, they say 1, 2, but top 5.
You'll go to the Jets, yeah.
The only thing you can do by going back
is be number 1.
No, it's be number one or ruin your reputation.
Or be 14,
and now
or be 30.
The second or third round.
Be Sam Levitt, fall completely out of the draft to where you have to go to LSU.
Here's the deal, Dale. He's going to get paid. He's going to get paid.
Either way.
At least for that 1 year. And he won't have the guarantee of that 5-year contract that he had if he had come out in the top 5. There, I get you there, but Dale, I just this was his first year as a.
Oh, and he's only started like 20 games, or something. And I understand it. What I'm saying is,
18.
if I'm his advisor, is he really that good? Am I scared that he'll be exposed coming in for the whole nother season?
I just don't think that he's ready. Yeah. And so if you know how these owners and general managers now are, if you draft somebody like that early, then he's your starter.
You play him.
And
especially in the Jets, they need a quarterback.
Yeah.
So,
And so I don't know that would be necessarily a good move for him.
We talked about it yesterday. Quarterbacks that come out of college with very few starts worry me. When was the last one that did any good?
Well, Ty Simpson, he has a lot of college experience, but he had to wait his turn.
Exactly.
And so now he got his chance.
But he's older too.
Yeah.
More as a young kid.
Absolutely.
Only 18
but you don't want to force value and take him at number 2 anyway. I think Simpson has played his way into the second round now. Yeah. He has to really show out.
I saw that several schools were offering him $4 or $5 million to stay in college.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
That's what I was reading the other day.
Well, he has
some other SEC schools.
Well, he has until the 18th, I believe it is, to pull out.
To pull his name out. I was reading the other day that schools are making plays for him to try to keep him in college. Which, if you're going to be a second rounder, you take that $5 million payday, don't you? Because you're not going to make that in the second round.
So you could certainly increase your value for the next year.
Yeah. I see Flash checks it in here, and he says, why not pick Archie Manning to go with a Manning-Harrison connection part 2? We'd have to wait till next year because Archie's not coming out this year. Yeah. The second generation of that matchup isn't going to be the same as the first generation.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that.
Arch certainly showed to be a better runner than passer, though he did show some as the season wore on.
I think he was hurt. I think he got hurt in that Ohio State game, and I think he was hurt for most of the season in the shoulder.
That game against Ohio State really tarnished his.
The hype was so big going into that, and then he couldn't throw. Really quick, Diamondbacks announcer Keepin Marte. How excited are you for lackadaisical baseball play coming your way this summer?
Well, I would love to see some of the offers that came the Diamondbacks' way, because you're right. One of the things that really turned me about Marte was he didn't play with the same passion that a number of his other players played with.
Everybody else.
Like Corbin Carroll is like the face of the franchise. Yeah. Corbin's going to give you everything he has.
They would take a ball off the face. They'd be right. Blaze Alexander at the end of the season took a ball off his elbow, and his elbow was the size of a basketball, and he played the next day.
And Cattell,
the wind's at his back, so he's got to take a couple days off.
He's one of those guys where, and I think Torrey doesn't help the situation.
That's my problem.
Torrey acquiesced to his whims.
Not just
I don't
Torrey,
feel good today.
The GM also commands it as well. It goes organizational wide.
Yeah, and so
this is my problem with it. But like you said, here's the other thing that worries me about Marte coming back. If not the best second baseman in baseball right now, top 2, maybe 3, that might be pushing it. And you can't get a quality trade put together for that guy?
I don't know what they're asking for. Is what look. There was a guy named Jazz Chisholm. he was the Diamondbacks' second baseman of the future.
Right.
The Diamondbacks traded him for Zach Gallen.
Yeah.
And Jazz was showing out with the Marlins. Well, they traded him to the Yankees, and he's showing out there too. I mean, the guy wallops like between 20 and 30.
They don't want that attitude on this team. They want just lackadaisical, no fire. They yelled at Ginkel on the mound against the Braves 2 years ago because Ginkel, started John with Acuna on third base. And Torrey came out to the game and goes, "We don't do that here," to the media. They don't want those types of players. They want the ho-hum, we're not going to play hard baseball players.
well, let me tell you something. I do believe you need to be a self-starter because I love the way even Jake McCarthy, who got traded, you had to love his passion and the way he played, his all-out style of play. It shouldn't be that hard for Cattell to, do the same thing. I mean, it's not asking a lot. I mean, the way Perdomo approaches the game. Look, just about everybody. I can start naming people, and it's just like Cattell's the antithesis of them. I mean, he's the one guy that sticks out like a sore thumb. It's like, dude, I agree with Steve. You can't tell me that, and it is said that Marte is the best second baseman in baseball, that he doesn't have a market that you can pull in some impact players. Now, what the heck are you asking for? That's my question.
You weren't going to get value for trade because you don't get equal value back for a number 1 or number 2 player in baseball at a position.
Well,
but can you get a couple good starters right now for right-hand pitchers? Can you get one at least? Maybe another fielder that you can use, another second baseman, maybe a first baseman that you need. And it scares me that they're saying there wasn't a trade market for Marte, which either means they're asking for too much, or it means Marte has no trading value. Nobody wanted that attitude.
I think they're asking for too much.
Nobody wanted that.
Let me tell you something. Ketel Marte, we sit here and dogma about his play, but when he wants to play, he's an extremely talented player.
I give him credit.
He can carry this team, any team, for stretches.
He can. Let me tell you again from personal experience. One guy, though, can upset an entire organization.
Remember the story that Nick Precoro put out toward the end of that last year, where the team did not like Marte in there because he didn't play to their level and their standards?
Right.
And you're bringing it back with a new manager. Cool. You're bringing the exact thing back this year. That's alarming to me that the Diamondbacks have decided. Yeah. They've sided with mediocrity. They've sided with no passion. They've sided with not working hard. And to me, that's scary.
Look, I saw that Bregman got, 5 years, 175?
30-something million a year,
Diamondbacks weren't going to do that. But I don't know how much of a hometown discount
he was working out with ASU the morning they announced that deal. He was here. He's here.
Right?
He lives here.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
But they wouldn't do it with Ketel Marte. But if you unloaded Marte.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how much of a hometown discount he would have given the Diamondbacks because he does live here. But having said that, I mean, you could have played Bregman at third and moved Alexander to second or vice versa.
Lawler to second. He would have played second, if not outfield. But that's the issue is you had a chance to make a move, even if you got less from Marte, to improve the locker room.
Sure.
And you decided that the locker room was good enough, and we're going to stay where we're at. That's
and see, we're about a month away from spring training.
Yeah.
And you're look. I trust the Diamondbacks scouting department in this regard, but you traded a major league player
for a Double-A pitcher.
Well, hey, man.
I have a problem with that, too.
Man.
You couldn't have at least got a AAA guy in that position? I get it. He's out of options. You had to unload him. You have a logjam in the outfield. But that's all you got for him?
That's what I'm saying. I heard he was a high A. You got him in Double-A. I heard he was high A.
I thought he was Double-A.
He might have been.
I'm not going to lie to you, Coop. When I saw that trade, I was like, whatever. I didn't go delving into it. I saw everybody doing it. I don't care. You couldn't get somebody that's almost ready to be a professional athlete for a good outfielder?
And they say he's a back-end rotation guy.
Yeah, great, excellent.
Look, dude, I got a guy that in Brandon Fott. I got a guy in Ryan Nelson who came up through my farm system who were back-end guys who now, because you're going to lose Zach Gallen, you're going to push them up. Because for sure, Merle Kelly now is probably going to be your ace until you get Corbin Burns back, and that'll be like half the year. So you're telling me, and I'm not an Eduardo Rodriguez fan. I'm just not.
He's been disappointing.
Yeah, he really.
They overpaid for a guy that's disappointing.
Yet again, we've seen it with Madison Bumgarner.
He's good when he's on. I'll give him that, but he's just not consistent and he's injured.
He's more bad than he is on.
Yeah, exactly.
More often he is on, I should say. So look, and so now you're gonna bring me another one of those guys. Come on, man. No. I would have taken a high end reliever or something like that, because Diamondbacks aren't going to have Puck and Martinez back until again, like around when they get Burns back.
Yeah, All-Star game-ish on that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just disappointed. I was hoping.
I am too.
We as fans in Arizona, we support the hard-playing team. Like we've gotten behind this Suns team. Why? They're playing hard again. We turned against them when they weren't. What did we turn around? We turned against Jonathan Gannon and this Cardinals team because they just weren't playing hard. And they had a lot of, there wasn't a lot of effort there and stuff like that. We support teams that throw the effort, and the Diamondbacks have just lacked in effort. Not the whole team, but big pieces of it, including the manager. And we all got tired of it last year, and we're running it back, and you expect it to be different? It's going to be a long summer, man. Long summer, Coop. But we got to worry about that then in the summertime.
Yeah, let's enjoy the winter. Let's enjoy the sun.
But heck, you're only a month away from their reporting.
I told Dale, watch how they handle Marte in spring training. I predict it's going to be, we're gonna slow roll him out.
Why? Why are you going to slow roll him out?
Because he could get injured.
Oh, stop it.
He could get injured. He might. The sunscreen, he might have an allergic reaction to the sunscreen if he has to wear it 2 days in a row. So we need to take it easy on him. Watch it. If they do that, it's just going to be a long season of Marte. We're going to slow roll him on hitting. We're not going to put him in a game for a couple weeks. We're going to let him ramp up to hitting baseballs and the thing. Just watch. I'm telling you, it'll be interesting. They did that 2 years ago with the pitching staff, and it failed miserably. Last year, they kind of cranked him up a little bit, and then they ruined the Burns situation. Remember that? And then everybody got hurt last year. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle this.
I think they're probably going to readdress the way they do things in spring training in the off season because, that they've had a glut of Tommy Johns.
Because the theme in spring training is it's 162 games. We got to ramp up to the season. We have to have all these guys ready by May.
Well, something ain't working.
Well, hopefully they've looked at that and will address it.
It's like Dale. We got to ramp him up in the morning, Coop, when he comes in here and everything like that.
8 o'clock. That's early, Coop.
Especially if he's going to take a family portrait.
Seriously. I had forgotten that, Coop. Now I'm angry again.
Yeah.
Folks, if you missed it earlier, McCollum on Business was at 7 a.m. today, so that is on demand right now. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 o'clock, of course. Coop, next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday.
Do it again, folks.
All right.
We'll see where the Suns sit in their schedule, and we'll have some fun. By the way, Seahawks are 7.5-point favorites against the Rams that opened up last night.
7.5?
Against the
49ers.
They play the Niners. 7.5-point favorites.
The 49ers have 53 guys to dress.
Well, then you go off of the Week 18 game and how that was a blowout.
Hey, Coop, Cardinals have a coach next time you're here?
No.
Do the Cardinals hire a coach before they're the last ones to hire a coach?
I don't think they'll be the last one this time.
Okay.
Really?
I don't.
Go get your guy, Cardinals. I don't care who it is. Go get your guy. Don't wait.
Well, I do care who it is.
Well, no, I agree with you, but don't wait. Go get your guy now.
Yeah.
It's not Harbaugh. I don't care what you say, Cardinals. It's not Harbaugh, so forget him. Go get your guy.
And look, Michael Bidwill has to be willing to throw some money at his coaching staff. Mm-hmm. I mean, for crying out loud.
Not just the head coach.
Yeah. I mean, we're not talking about a salary cap that you have to manage. Right. But you need to go and look. I know you're paying 900,000 other coaches that you've got wrong, but dude, you have to turn the page. You have to turn the corner.
But they just had a 40% price increase to pay for it all. Everybody out there. We'll see y'all tomorrow, everybody. For Coop, for Dave Coop, Bruce the Dave Cooper, for 17-year NFL veteran Dale Hillistry, I'm Stephen McCollum. Have a great day, everybody.